Hi everyone, thank you for joining my webinar on what creative quality means in a digital era. If you have any questions during this webinar, please just send me a chat. There's a chat box in the bottom left-hand screen, and I will answer it as soon as I can. Obviously, there may be some delays since I am presenting you this webinar. We are going to be talking about how implementing real change in marketing is going to require big picture thinking in order to get heard through all the noise of all these different advertisements and media that a user is being presented with today. Now, I'm Ashley Schweiger. I'm the owner of Marcom Content by Ashley. And the reason why I'm so passionate about the future of marketing and creative quality is because this is what I really do when I go to different companies and talk about their marketing processes and technologies that they are using. I help them to get into the now and to really understand what is going on today. Now, today, marketers really need to embrace technology and convey a personalized experiences for their audiences. There should be a balance between pursuing creative energies and planning and moving towards that pioneering point of view. Therefore, marketers must be able to adapt and analyze proven methodologies with disruptive behavior. Great creativity should be at the core of every marketing campaign. But what marketers don't realize is that creativity isn't the picture of or the words for that campaign. It really is demonstrating that you can think holistically about the reason behind that campaign. Creativity is the tool that drives innovation and helps you to be heard through all the noise. I think of creativity as a process and innovation as a solution. Many marketers, specifically digital, have abandoned innovation in favor of playing it safe because they're thinking about those rankings and are only focusing on a small static piece of data. Your data should really tell a complete story, which is why you should always look at the bigger picture when you're creating a marketing campaign. During this webinar, I'm going to talk about how, why creativity is important, understanding the bigger picture, and how to produce excellent creative quality. Creative thinking has and will always be a factor in how marketers target audiences on and offline. Now that online marketing has gotten more sophisticated with technology like artificial intelligence, audiences are expecting the online world to be cutting edge and to provide a solid understanding of their needs. By taking risks and thinking holistically, you'll be able to make better informed marketing decisions while standing out in the crowd. This is why I always talk about full integration between traditional and new media. As marketers, we really need to understand strategically about how all of it fits together and how to really integrate and create a seamless experience for our audience, or we're never going to get our message across. You should have an enterprising attitude to succeed as a marketer by constantly changing, innovating, and adopting risk while reevaluating your go-to-market strategy. Venturing into new markets or connecting new demographics requires a proactive approach where you need to model, run quick tests, and get your audience excited through enough to become those loyal brand advocates. The adjustments in marketing are a direct response to changing customer trends, emerging media, and new technology. Therefore, it's important to think like an innovator and act like an entrepreneur. Well, I'm sure you've heard a lot of different acronyms in marketing: SEO, SEM. I'm sure we could go on and on. But there are some types I really want to focus on today because they really are at the core of marketing and they do all fit together. So I'm going to talk about relationship marketing, expeditionary marketing, and one-to-one marketing. There are plenty of studies that support customer retention through the use of relationship marketing. The same is true of, relationship building, which can be used in this type of marketing to cultivate these relationships and to ensure that your customer is going to have that brand loyalty. Now, this is a long-term type of marketing approach. Expeditionary marketing is focused on growth, moving companies into new markets and increasing value. One-on-one marketing emphasizes personalized interactions with your customers or prospects. This is where your CRM is really going to come into play. Now, there's also real time marketing, viral marketing, and digital marketing. Real time marketing is when marketing is performed on the fly to determine the time and place to communicate that message. This type of marketing is all about targeting your audience on important moments. It's really as they are occurring and it's on the fly. Viral marketing utilizes social media to promote a product or service, encouraging your audience to share the information. It's done in the same way that a virus spreads from one person to another, hence the name viral marketing. Digital marketing is the use of digital technologies to market, such as the web, email, and social. Because technology and customer demands have evolved so much, marketing requires the integration of all these types. Marketing campaigns that focus on targeting the user and spreading messages while still providing value to organizations take a tremendous amount of effort. Now, these types of marketing campaigns should be well thought out and demonstrate an omni-channel approach. Also, hopefully you are already utilizing some kind of automation within your marketing because it will help you to integrate these different types. Technology that leverages AI is taking automation to another level, and it really shouldn't be ignored by today's marketer. So if you're not doing automation, I suggest that you start leveraging that because it's just going to become more intelligent and advanced as we move into the 21st century. So how are marketers going to create campaigns that truly stand out from the crowd? The answer is tell a story. Campaigns are moving towards thought leadership and brand storytelling more today than they ever have in the past. With multiple channels and lots of data, marketers need to understand how all the marketing disciplines and types of work together to effectively tell a compelling story seamlessly across channels. So, no matter how you look at it, our brains benefit from storytelling by helping us to understand various complexities of life. In fact, researchers have found that the brain hardly makes a distinction between living an experience and reading about an experience. For example, in this age of big data, visual representation through storytelling can offer many benefits. But with that territory can come data overload. So most marketers don't understand the meaning behind the overwhelming amount of data they view in their analytics and monitoring tools once a campaign is launched. There's just so much of it. So if the data is produced in a digestible and relatable way, marketers will most likely understand it. The same is true of a story. Sometimes a brand can have a complex message or meaning that they really stand on. So in order to get an audience to understand it, they need to tell a story. If it's presented in a way for the user to make a connection, it will create a memorable experience. So when creating a marketing campaign, consider what goes into a standard narrative. After the exposition comes the rising action, which is a series of separate yet cohesive events presented logically that lead to a conclusion. The fact that some stories stick out in our minds better than others can seem random, but there are a few elements that make the story truly memorable, hence, you can have some kind of formula to do this. The story relates to something personal in our lives. There was some level of conflict and resolution. There is someone or something to root for or stand behind. A story that's unified and has a forward sense of motion is one that engages the readers. If the consumer enjoys reading about the character's journey, they will naturally talk about it with others and become more invested in the brand. And remember, those conversations aren't just word of mouth. These are social media shares and blog posts. This is why some brands will go viral and some won't. Creative storytelling is, is when marketing targets an emotion with consumers. It's really one of my favorite topics to talk about with a company when I'm starting to work with them on a content marketing strategy, my first question is always, what is the emotion that we are targeting? And I will get some generic answers when it comes to emotion, like want to inspire, but really, what does that mean? How are we going to do this? What is the story? When you do it right, it can energize your audience. It can deliver them a solution and it can convert them to a lead. So at the same time, a great brand story continues to satisfy and engage its active customers, thus keeping them loyal. The story opens on your audience facing a problem. And just something to note, while we see brands include characters like Flo in insurance commercials, there really isn't a need to make up a fictional character. If you're authentically addressing a problem your audience regularly faces, they will find the comparison to their own lives and subconsciously project themselves into your story. Your introduction should grab your audience's attention by raising a relatable issue, which can be done through video, which is one of my favorites. In fact, I had just seen it when it's done right, video can really capture your audience's attention. Many times I see video just supporting the story versus really making that strong impact and using other methods to support that story. A good content marketing campaign should include many channels and many types of media. I have personally used the exploration of the problem with blog posts and provided the problem solution through a piece of gated content. Because remember, we want to capture our audience, we want to capture the lead. Otherwise, there's no use for the content to begin with. So, by walking your audience through every step of their journey, hence understanding the buyer's journey in the modern day funnel, you'll be able to help them feel a part of your experience. This is why your content really needs to be mapped out and you really need to understand how it fits within the conversion funnel. Even listicles can take some inspiration from a narrative structure. Again, you begin the story by raising a relatable problem. From there, your audience can explore the problem by listing out potential solutions, keeping the most interesting ones to the end. Creativity is the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. This is going to be an imperative skill set for the 21st century marketer as more technology is introduced to society. Creativity is characterized by the ability to perceive the world in new ways, to find hidden patterns, to make connections, and find solutions. Creativity involves two processes, thinking and producing. Innovation is the result of the creativity. It's the implementation of a new idea for a marketing campaign while providing value to your company. Some people say creativity has nothing to do with innovation. Well, I greatly disagree. Creativity is a discipline that every marketer must have to produce true innovation. There isn't innovation without creativity. The key metric in both creativity and innovation is the value of the campaign you're bringing to market. Again, creativity is the tool that drives innovation and helps you to be heard through all the noise. The marketers that come up with the best ideas will be able to provide companies innovation. If a company lacks in innovation, they will eventually be passed by their competitors. This is becoming a standard skill. I know we've been talking about the 21st century skill set throughout this webinar with the marketer, but really creativity has already started to take an impact on what a marketer needs today to capture their audience. I think we can all agree that there seems to be some sort of unspoken word amongst marketers saying that data and creativity are somehow complete opposites. But even though data is rational and creativity is irrational, data is also knowledge collected, while creativity is the product of that imagination. So this really couldn't be further from the truth because data and creativity should work together. While planning a marketing campaign, you should be looking into data and research within the market. Technological advances in market research can actually supercharge the creative process by providing you rich insights into highly targeted niche consumer groups. And while data may provide knowledge, it cannot create that emotional bond with your audience, which is why you need creativity to figure out how you're going to do just that. The knowledge is handling large amounts of data on a daily basis, which can lose the bigger picture. So while demonstrating and understanding the importance for connecting with your customers on a personal level, you need to be able to understand how to leverage that data to really see what they are looking for. Today, we have more marketing channels than ever before, and decisions need to be faster and out of the box. So far, I've been seeing a lot of articles on how to leverage technology like AI to better understand your audience. There really hasn't been much discussion about how the fundamental rules of marketing will change with these new technologies. Creativity is definitely still human to a certain extent, but recent advances in technology are empowering marketers to use data to drive creative development in completely new ways. Machine learning algorithms are yielding predictive insights about copy choices and advertising design that make marketing creative significantly more effective and impactful. By leveraging AI to generate, test, and analyze your marketing campaigns, you'll be able to see what channels are the most beneficial and what truly is resonating. The way that information is interpreted and ideas you generate for evolving and optimizing your campaigns will come from your creative thinking. So, by utilizing brand storytelling, you can create meaningful and personal connections with your audience by leveraging the data to get a better understanding. As more parts of marketing venture into AI in hopes of unlocking value, marketing is going to need to figure out how this technology will be used to speak to humans on a one on one level to avoid losing that personal connection. This actually has me thinking about a technology platform that I use. I needed to reach out to customer service to understand a change that they made. So I found a chat, and it was definitely empowered by AI. So the bot was answering me with it didn't seem like it really understood what I was saying. Obviously, these answers were programmed in advance, and it was kind of frustrating because I wanted that personal connection. So I think as marketers leverage this type of technology to create that on demand experience, we need to remember the personal aspect that will never leave. We need to make sure that we are building those relationships, going back into that relationship marketing while still demonstrating that value. The The relationship between creative and digital is being rocked by an intense industry focus on new technology, data, and privacy. As digital campaigns continue to be more personalized, they must also deliver the same storytelling achieved through those traditional channels. Again, this is why I'm always talking about integration. We must integrate. It doesn't make any sense. I know that I'm sure many marketers on this webinar have heard about multi channel marketing, that multi channel approach. Well, while it's great to cast out that big net and have all these different channels, when they aren't cohesive, when there isn't that seamless experience and that personalization, that omni-channel approach that you've been hearing that is a lot more than a buzzword, you're really going to lose your audience. And that's why full integration is essential, and every marketer needs to understand the different disciplines within the department in order to really understand how it's going to fit into their own work. So, regardless of the channel or industry, data driven marketing should be supported by equally impactful creativity. While this is crucial for continued campaign success, we can't overlook the impact of a good idea. Dynamic marketing campaigns that are optimized to achieve personalization through the use of automation are key to creating a coherent customer journey. Well, there you have it, guys. Um, we spoke about, looks like I skipped a slide here. Well, we spoke about a little bit of everything. And if you want a little bit more information about 21st century marketing and really how creativity fits into that, I suggest that you download my ebook. You can find the ebook on this page. It should be at the bottom. If you have more information, feel free to email me. You can find my email address in the contact page. I am more than happy to talk more about this topic or even meet you over coffee and talk about how you can utilize creativity into your marketing department. Thank you very much and have a great day, everyone.